Today we're talking about how to learn in 2026, how to study in 2026. I've been building learning tools and I've been actually playing with this kind of stuff since 2019, really. Like if you follow the YouTube channel, and definitely go and go to YouTube and search for Uncertain Systems, youtube.com, and search for Uncertain Systems. This channel used to be called Quantum Intuition, by the way. It's called Uncertain Systems. It's not too much. It's not a huge channel, but I post there every day. I've been doing a lot of stuff with OpenLesson recently, so I want to kind of change that a little bit now, because I want to broaden the horizon of the channel, and I wanna spend more time thinking about like uh, how to transfer everything that I've been doing and learning in the space of like how do we learn in 2026 and beyond. How do we learn and study in a world where there's such an advanced technological stack for things like that it's crazy people are not utilizing it the way that they're utilizing it. And there's a lot of tools and a lot of things that are being hyped around on Instagram, on X, on whatever, and it's in not these tools are not always for everyone, and they're not always they're not always really geared towards helping you study. So this is what I want to kind of like start now moving forward, and that's kind of the first instance of these. So we're gonna do some exploration on learning tools today, and but yeah, just go here. There's a bunch of playlists which are all about like learning quantum computing. So I actually like this is the whole thing. Like this is what started everything. I in 2019 I started learning quantum computing on my own, and doing it publicly, and that's what kind of started the whole channel. The channel was called Quantum Intuition. Look at even here. There's actually videos of this very same room I am in right now, but we didn't even have like this bed that I have behind with the boxes and stuff like that. So this was actually, yeah, this it was actually a funny one. Anyway, there's a lot of history to this channel, right? So anyway, let's get into this. What I want to do today is I want to kind of do a bit of a Theo style video where I kind of use Excalibur to brainstorm a few things, and I want to sign up into a few services maybe after the video, and then go through the process myself so that you don't have to, and then you kind of like get a bit of an honest review of tools like Math Academy, tools like Brilliant.org, tools that actually are paid tools, and I wanna see how good they are for studying these days, right? They claim a lot of things, but it's kind of like the problem with studying is that it's hard to attribute. It's one of the things where, um, let's put it this way, like things like coding, things like programming, things like actual skills. You've got tools for those things, right? And I'll actually no. Let's do it this way. I'll explain what I just went through this weekend, right? I This weekend I actually went, and I wanted to hang in this room a huge like a swing for the kids, right? Now I live in Germany. Probably you know that I live in Germany, and in Germany has this like obsession with um, buildings that are like extremely durable and extremely well built in terms of like the materials and whatnot. So the ceiling of the apartment I live in is made of what Germans call Stahlbeton, which is basically like a very, very dense concrete. And it has like a mesh of steel inside and stuff like this. It's not like your drywall. And, we've got drywalls in the apartment and whatnot, but it's not like it's not like your drywall where with a very just simple, drilling device, like a driller or like a regular thing. You can just like make a hole, a couple holes, and that's it, right? If you want to do this, and I own a very basic electric driller for screw driving and doing some minor holes, but I also own like something that is a little more like pro, right? Like an actual machine that can actually just you drill wood, drill other materials, drill through like brick as well and stuff like this. But when you try that machine with a ceiling, it's impossible. You can't actually even like go deeper than like a half centimeter, right? On this like dense concrete ceiling. And I basically had to get a sort of like the it's I don't know what's the English word for these, but it's like the in German they're called like the how they're called like let's ask Grok. I think I think I even searched for it here. That's fine. I will actually. I think they're called. Give me list of different drilling devices. They are so essentially it's basically the higher class of a drill machine that is used for concrete and construction and stuff like this. And anyway, like the whole point is that once I used that tool, it just made a hole like if this concrete was like butter, right? It literally like effortlessly made those like 4 holes that I couldn't even get like half a centimeter through with the machine that was good. Yeah, the hand drill, the rotary hammer. Yeah, that's this. So I do have I own a hammer drill. I own a just a cordless general purpose device. I own a hammer drill. But this is the stuff that I'm talking about, like the heavy duty version of the hammer drill. When I use these thing, like it just went like butter. So what I'm trying to say with this, I'm trying to say is that when you're learning, like when you're building up a skill, tools have a clear value and problem that they want to solve and a clear value they want to deliver, right? Learning is different. Learning and studying is different because a lot depends on yourself. A lot depends on you as a learner to actually stick to a process, to actually have a healthy lifestyle so that your brain is more of a sponge than nothing else. And it's really a good parallel to build here. It's like diet and eating, right? There's no like there are tools to help you exercise. There are tools to help you have a healthy diet, but it at the end of the day boils down to yourself, and that's what makes it very difficult because we're being sold a lot the fact that if you don't learn well, if you don't know how to learn math or you're bad at math, it's because you haven't used the right tool. You haven't used the right learning tool for math, right? And that's a problem. It's the same with like shit like languages and stuff like these. Duolingo, use Duolingo like it's the best tool for learning. No, 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 no. Like those are not tools for learning. Those are just like the meal plan. You know what I mean? You actually have to use them, and um, that's why I think it's important that we look at this kind of stuff. So mm I am building Open Lesson, and you know that if you follow me. So I'm building this tool called Open Lesson. Open Lesson is not necessarily a learning tool. Go to openlesson.academy. It's not really a learning tool. It's more of a tool that implements a think aloud protocol and a Socratic method, right? It's a tool that is really aiming at actually taking away the process for you, right? It's a bit of a different thing. We're not going to get into this right now. I want to do a bit of research, so I want to kind of like, we'll start off with Grok. We'll get Grok heavy to actually go and do some deep research on learning tools, online learning tools, not even online, like tech learning tools, and then we'll do a bit of a. I want to do a bit of a okay. That's how I learn. That's how I learn, right? I want to kind of start off this whole series with like explaining you what's the way that I like what's my process, how do I learn like stuff, because I do feel in this I do feel that I'm in this kind of situation where I feel, and I'm by far not like something you'd consider like I've never taken an IQ test. I don't know what my IQ is. I don't know how good of a learner I am, but I have the feeling that with enough time and actual purpose, you can learn anything, right? Assuming you have a healthy brain, assuming that all of these is true. So what I want to do is I want to do these. I want to explain you what my process is, and then we can do some research on tools, and then we'll spend some videos in the coming days testing these tools and actually trying to learn something with these tools, right? Yeah, and I think the best starting point really is like maybe let's talk a bit about like why do you even want to learn something? What, like, what's the purpose of learning, right? What's the purpose of learning and studying, right? I mean, the because that's the whole thing, right? If you don't really have a purpose, then I don't think you're gonna get far. Like, the purpose can be recreational. I do like, I mean, that's a valid purpose. So there's, yeah. A second. Wow. Okay, so it's the recreational learning. I want wine. Why isn't it pure wine? What? That's weird. Okay, anyway. Recreational learning. Okay, so I have recreational learning. This is like learn to learn, right? This is let's learn to, like, it's just learn for the sake of learning. It's it's kind of like I just wanna, it's like Netflix and chill. It's like I just feel like I want to learn something. There are people who have this feeling. I am sometimes I do have that feel of like I just like to chill, get a cup of coffee and just learn something. Like, just learn something I didn't know about. But ultimately, recreational learning, obviously problem solving, right? So you might want to solve a problem. Maybe at work, maybe at home. Maybe you want to learn some. And learning is not just like, maybe I want to learn how to drill home, right? So how to drill the ceiling in a German apartment, right? Like it's a private life, that would be right. So you've got these two options here. So let's just do, this is one. I have to. How do I get like thicker lines? I have to learn how to use Excalibur better. So let's just do these. So that's one. That's another one. Then I think often I'm 37. I've got a family, wife, 3 kids, a job. I do things on the side. Like, I don't technically speaking, I don't have to learn, right? But there is this big bucket of people that have to learn because you have to, basically. Why? Because the government tells you have to finish school, right? School, university, whatever, school. We'll just call it school, right? School, work. Maybe at work they force you to learn something, because otherwise they're gonna get rid of you, right? So there's these thing here. How do I increase the thickness of these? Maybe I'm just too zoomed out, I think I'm just too zoomed out. I think what I'm doing, I think the problem I have, let me just, I think I'm just too zoomed out. And I think I need to kind of, yeah, I think I was just too zoomed out, because I just realized the zoom was like 10%. And I probably want to be rather here, 100%. Yeah, okay, perfect. Now this makes more sense. And now probably this works nicely. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So you have to, right? Recreational learning. Maybe you're having your like mid-40s crisis and you feel you're stupid and you just want to learn something. You want to get a new job, maybe. I mean, that's kind of, you have to, right? Midlife crisis. It happens. In a way, it kind of happened to me. Like, I think that's why. Like, I started learning quantum computing when my first daughter was born in 2019, and I was kind of like in my paternity leave, and I'm like, I don't know, what do I do with myself? Like, anyway, problem solving. I mean, this might be related to, you have to. It's kind of like more on this side, I would say. Actually, if you think about this, problem solving is really sort of a second level, right? Because the truth is either you have to or you want to, right? And problem solving can just be here. You're building something novel at work. Doesn't happen that often, but it can happen. recreational, kind of somewhere in between. Maybe you have to, right? Like you have to because of kind of home stuff, like in maybe like a you know wife wants to, right? That's a valid argument as well. You need to solve a problem because your wife wants you to solve a problem, or you actually want to solve a problem. So anyway, so it's because learning is very broad, right? I mean, but you have these like different sections where it's like you have to. This is somewhere in between recreational learning, and this is like kids could be like early school, late school. You're coming back to school. Doesn't really matter, right? Um, but I think that's pretty much about it, pretty much it, right? So either you have to, or you really want to, right? And I guess you're gonna use different tools for things like these, right? Because if you think about school, and okay, there is the gray area of homeschooling as well, which is maybe somewhere in here, right? You have to, but it's a bit of a different context. You have to because the government obviously forces you. We want our kids to learn stuff, right? But it's a bit of a different thing because you can have a different type of environmental pressure. I would say what makes I think these categories is really the environment. I think the difference what is that? The difference here is, or what makes difference here is is different environment. I'm so bad at this. I'll get better. It's different environment. Anyway, um, so you have this stuff, and then how do you even start? Like how do you define what learning is, right? It's very much like, I mean, learning can be anything. Can be a skill, can be acquiring knowledge, can be multiple, can be like a variety of things. I want to stay as generic as possible, um, because really everything can be kind of in a way like mapped or explained as like, hey, that's a skill, right? So, and let me see. I'm just doing a quick check. Yeah, I just want to check that it's actually, yeah. Okay, cool. That the video is not frozen. Yesterday my video froze, and it was a bit of a problem with these. Okay, so what do we? How do we break that into tools? I mean, essentially, learning it's a very simple loop, right? If you think about this, learning is what it is like. Learning is basically you don't know something, and it could also be a skill, right? You don't know something. Um, you search for this something, right? Could be books, could be the internet, could be an apprentice, could be whatever. Like you search for something. Um, you practice, and that's it. It's actually it's a very simple loop. It's these three things. It's basically, you don't know something, you search for something, you practice, and then you go back here and check, do I still don't know something, right? So you don't need tools to learn, right? You don't need tools to learn. Like this is what bothers me the most, is that you don't need tools to learn, right? You essentially, that's like, it's something like that's how we are as human beings, right? You don't know something, you go and search for this something, then you practice, and then that's it, right? And that means obviously that this loop has a cost, right? So there is, this is essentially, there is a cost to learning. So we can talk about, are there ways could be, can be, it can be time, right? It's mostly time, right? Like how much does it take for you to run this loop, right? So there's a cost to this, which is mostly time, right? All our brains are able to learn. We're all human beings. The only thing that you need is time. Some people need more time, some people less time. Environment might affect the time. You're in a stressful environment. I don't know, you were born in a poor country and you don't have access to books or to the internet. You know, like the environment might affect time, but the only thing you need is time. That's the only resource you need. Like if you have money, you can maybe buy yourself access to an LLM nowadays and get access to knowledge faster. If you have money, you can go to a fancier school and maybe you're gonna have like, you're gonna tighten this loop very fast, right? But all you need is time. Like in reality, all you need is time. And if you want to focus your life in learning, being good at one thing and mastering one thing, everyone has enough time. There's no excuse not to learn one thing in life. Like just pick one thing. It doesn't matter. You can even do one thing, and then after 5 years, you realize that's not maybe what you wanted. You can learn nothing. You don't really like. You can have a very demanding job. You can have like a big family life where you spend a lot of time with family and friends. You should be able to do a bit of learning every day, and you should be able to actually run these. There's no excuse for these, right? What makes it difficult to learn something? Just lack of time. Really. I mean, there is, okay, there is, I sort of agree that there is a spectrum of like, and I think that is definitely something that has been like proven over time. And I don't know if there's research on these. I can go and take a look at it later, but there is at least a segregation of, and that's why IQ matters, right? There is at least one or maybe two probably where it's like, bro, I'm sorry, if you were born with a bad brain and you're at the bottom third of like the IQ, let's say that's the IQ distribution or whatever. Okay, not like these, right? So what's the IQ distribution population? Something like these, right? Like IQ scores. So if you're like, and again, I don't know exactly which are the categories that are like, I think, don't they define someone being retarded like when you're below 85 or something like this? There's like a threshold. There's one threshold, I forgot which one it is, that really kind of makes you it's like things like these people, like there are concepts that these people can't actually, their brain can't actually process, right? Let's put that aside. If you're on the majority of people side of things, the only reason why learning something is complicated is because of there's something wrong with the resource that it takes. It takes time to learn something, right? There's nothing else. Think about this. There's no other resource involved in learning. You don't know something, you need to search for this something, and then you need to practice. You can become the best basketball player. Maybe it will take you 20 years. And then it's kind of pointless, right? Because you're not going to play like in a basketball league when you'll be like 50 or something. But it doesn't matter. Like you've learned to play basketball, right? Very well. So there's really only one thing that matters is time, right? So if you're in a region that is good and healthy enough, there's nothing else stopping you from learning, right? But that's why you don't really need tools, because the tool that you need is your brain. I mean, that's already something you have in your head, right? So that's why when you're thinking about is a learning tool useful, is a learning tool useful? You have to think in terms of time. Is this tool helping me? Is this tool helping me reduce or optimize the only resource that you need for learning, which is time, right? If that's the answer, then that tool is going to be worth it, right? Uh, Anything else, in my opinion, is not worth it at all. If the tool that is being sold to you, and that is my suspicion with something like Math Academy, but it's a suspicion. I haven't used the tool. I actually signed up for their program. I forgot about these. I canceled because it's $50 a month, and I'm gonna sign up again and I'm gonna try it, right? But if you're being sold a tool where the only thing where the value of this tool is that it acts like a gym, it's just you're paying for accountability. Be aware that that's what you're doing, right? A gym is not going to, like, you don't need to go to the gym to get fit, right? Now, if you want to build a certain amount of muscle and a certain amount of whatever, and you want to do culturism, or I don't know, whatever it's called, like bodybuilding and stuff like that, you do need access to certain things which will, again, reduce time and reduce the effort that you need to kind of put and stuff, like, not the effort, but like the time and all this kind of stuff, and in access to resources, access to the time resource is what's worth buying, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So anything that tells you that this tool is gonna use an AI that truly understands how you think, this is bullshit. This is bullshit because there is no, and this is a known fact, and Veritasium has a video about this. Let me pull that up again. Veritasium has a video. Veritasium Visual Learner, I think it's called. Yes, the biggest myth in education. Go watch this video. This video is from 4 years ago. I really urge you to go watch this video. Okay, I'm gonna put this video. I'm fucking tired of the data annotation ads, man. I'm gonna put this video. In here, and then I'll just share it on X. What am I doing? Oh, that's stupid. Go watch this video. Oh, it actually copies the video. That's cool. I didn't know that. What this video tells you, I think the TLDR of this video is there's no such thing as like your preferred learning style, okay? Or like you can't learn something by reading it, you can't learn something by whatever. It's all like there was experiments built around these, and it's proven that this is not something that that helps. What does help is practice, right? And you want this practice to be varied, right? So you have to actually vary like your practice, but there's no like a specific content type that because it's tailored to you, you're gonna learn better and faster, right? This is BS, right? So if you're being advertised a tool that's like, it knows how you learn, it knows how do you think, it knows what your level is, and then therefore it's the best for learning, this is bullshit. Like, this is literally bullshit. You don't, like, there's no one single best optimal way for you to learn. You just need to follow these, and so you need to know what you don't know, search for the stuff you don't know, right? So get material, find a way to learn it, so to say, and actually practice it and learn it, right? And the way that you do this is you do this by practicing 360. You do this by practicing across different angles, right? So it doesn't matter. Watch a video, do an exercise, read a book, listen to an audiobook. Practice is all that matters. It doesn't matter if you come to me and you tell me you're a visual learner, I know that you're actually not a learner. I know that you just like the vibe, and that's it. um, and so essentially that's important, right? So I think I mean that's how I learn. I learn like before even building things like Open Lesson and stuff like this. I mean, the way that I learn is like this. The way that I learn is I don't know something, I go for it, and I practice, right? For me, this means, if I'm trying to learn something because I don't know. Now I have to learn about probability theory. I have to learn about like thermodynamics computing and stuff for the hackathon in Zurich and whatnot. I would read, I would watch, I would practice, I would do exercises, I would do this kind of stuff, right? So I would actually use a variety of tools, but that's the loop. Don't let anything else or anyone else kind of fool you. There's another dimension, which is retention and relearning and things like this. We're going to talk about this in another video. But learning is just this, right? So what I want to do next is I want to spend like a few minutes capturing a list of tools. So we're going to do some research now. And we're going to pull here a list of tools that we want to actually test. And you know what we'll do? We'll probably do this kind of like S tier meme or something like this. We'll actually, over the next videos, basically play with these things and actually and actually basically, classify them, right? But it's, again, I'm going to be very critical of this kind of tools, right? Like these tools I'm sure they're good tools. I'm sure they are like amazing tools. Well, my angle is be honest with yourself. Do you really need this tool to learn? Do you really need the gym to learn? Or can you just do push-ups at home, right? Can you just buy yourself a pair of dumbbells at home if you don't have any weights to lift? By the way, you have your own body to lift. It's also weight, right? That's why I'm saying be aware of what people are selling you, right? So let's do this. I mean, I know already a few that come to mind, right? So I know about Math Academy, right? So Math Academy is this, guys. So Math Academy, I'm gonna sign up for it later. As I said, like I actually did sign up, but I canceled because so Math Academy is basically the most efficient and most effective way to learn math, guaranteed, right? Cutting edge technology, research-backed pedagogy accelerates the learning process at a 4x speed. This claims is like, I'm not saying that they are not necessarily true. The problem is it really the tool? Is it the tool that is making the 4x, or is it like a placebo effect? That because you half these people actually done like a randomized trial where they like have a group of people using this tool and another group of people using a very similar tool that is kind of like a placebo, so pretending to be a very fancy tool, but there's no fancy AI behind this or any tech, right? I bet you they haven't done these, right? So yeah, we'll do we'll do deep dive in this. We'll read the pedagogy stuff. We'll read what science is this like based on space repetition, mix review, interleaving, and things like this, layering, blah blah blah. So techniques, right? But again, do these things actually? Is this the tool that does this, or is this just the process? It's like, hey, you want to lose weight? Like there is this like person who has this like keto diet or something, like they are the best diets ever. Is it the diet that is good, or is it just the framework that is good? You know what I mean? So that's important, right? I'm not saying that's not a good tool, right? All I'm just saying is that this some of this blah blah sales stuff here it's not cheap, right? I mean, $49 a month for it's not really cheap for everyone, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like, do you really need to go to the gym to get fit? Think twice about this, okay? We'll join these guys. We'll definitely do this. We will also do Brilliant.org. So Brilliant.org has two things that I'm interested in, right? So Brilliant.org has two things. They've just launched their new AI tutor. I'm very, very curious to actually use this. Koji, right? So we will use these. We will actually use. So Math Academy is going to be one. We're definitely going to be doing Brilliant.org, but we'll do Brilliant.org Classic, right? So we'll do the classic one. I know that Sabrina has there some quantum computing courses or some quantum mechanics courses. We'll do Brilliant.org Koji. We will do. So what we will also do is definitely a classic is Khan Academy, right? Another classic. Khan Academy. We should find some educational YouTubers actually. We'll switch to YouTubers. Like, we'll pick some like educational YouTube. So we will pick a topic and then we will maybe like go through some of these YouTubers, right? Perfect. I've recently stumbled upon a few new tools in Instagram. People were advertising. I just forgot the name. I have to go look for them. They're doing like UGC ads all the time on Instagram, selling you that it's a tool that then does it's AI generates educational videos for you and stuff like these. We will, we will do open lesson. I'm biased here. It's my tool, right? And what else can we do? What else can we do? Let's check with Grok. Let's Grok. Give me similar learning tech and learning tools following the vibes of the attached list. I mean, obviously, yes, I know which one I want to do. I also want to do Notebook LM. And I want to do also, wait, what was that name? I have one in Discord that I joined their Discord, but I never actually used it. Let me just check. It's called, this guy's Wondering. So let's test Wondering as well. Wondering app. So we'll do these. Okay, Wondering app. The Duolingo for anything. Oh, and we can do Duolingo. We can learn some language. Let's do this. So we'll do Duolingo. Duolingo also has recently some chess and math and stuff like that. Duolingo. And we need a framework for these, okay? So, and we have Wondering. The least, like, just, you know what? I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to publish this list. Tell me what else you want me to test in the comments of the post or in the video, right? I'm gonna upload this video on YouTube. So just feel free to go and put some comment. What other tools would you like me to test? And we'll embark into the journey of like how to learn in 2026. And again, why not just like a vanilla LLM, right? For example, Grok. That's what I did for like the entire Omega Quest project, right? If you follow that project, I was solving humanities last exam problems using Grok only, right? And basically AI in the loop, right? Obviously, there's one which I would love to test, but it's definitely not gonna go, which is Eureka Labs. I think, you know what? I think for these, we actually will do Karpathy. Let's do Karpathy. He's very famous for his educational videos. So, fine. Let's do these. I'm gonna put these, and then you guys tell me if you want me to add more stuff. And see you tomorrow.